Out of executive session, please.
I move to come out of executive session.
Motion by Tommy, second by Danny. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, so this meeting started at 5:15, so we'll move on with the visitors, delegations and correspondence.
You want to do the,
What's that? Oh, we better do the pledge, huh? So we did not say the pledge when we started, so that was an item that we put off till right now. So if we please rise. Katie Harder, will you please lead us in the pledge?
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now's the appropriate time for visitors in the audience to be recognized and to speak on items both on the agenda and of general concerns to the patrons of Green River Schools. There will be a limit of 3 minutes for individuals, 5 minutes for a group spokesperson. No speaker shall speak more than twice on any issue. The board is legally obligated to maintain confidentiality concerning district personnel, and therefore matters concerning district personnel will not be discussed. Do we have anybody that needs to speak to the board today? Seeing none, we'll move on. Need to have, let's see, I think first up is Mr. Kalinsky.
Brandon. Wait to hear my name.
Good evening. Thank you guys for having me. My one student, who isn't here, he was at swimming, so I think he's running a little late, but we'll just keep moving forward. So, without further ado, to recognize my first little bit, every year these students get to audition for All-State, which is a honor where every student in participating in band or choir can audition for an honor ensemble, and they select based off of different prepared excerpts and solos. They select students and assemble a group of about 120 kids, depending on that year and how many kids go out for it. This year we had 2 students from our band program selected. First was Becklin Sweat. She's a junior in our band program and also participates in jazz band, and it is her first year. And then second is Dallin Owens. This is his second year making All-State. So we are really glad to have these two in band, and they make it such a wonderful, wonderful ensemble. And it's a great honor to have them also participating and representing Green River High School in this state ensemble as well. Yeah. Additionally, every other year, students are able to audition for the All Northwest Ensemble. This is an ensemble that is accumulated from the states of Wyoming, Montana, Oregon, and Idaho. Thank you. And Alaska and Washington. And it's the same idea as All-State, but on a much larger scale. Dallin auditioned and made it to the All Northwest Ensemble, which is being hosted in Spokane, Washington. And we were here to request assistance with some funds because it is not a cheap trip to get to. And we want to make it possible for him to go. So
Typically, we've given $175 for people to go to these events, and we pay their registration. So if I understand it right, the registration is $300.
correct.
And we would reimburse, it's already been paid, but we would find a way to reimburse that. And then $175, that would come out of board discretionary funds. So what's the pleasure of the board? We would need a motion. Would be a total of $475.
I'd like to make a motion to help pay for that.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I second.
Second by Tommy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, all right.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Next, we have recognition of All-State Choir. Danielle?
We not out there. Okay. We have two students this year that made all-state choir. Caitlin Tanner's with us tonight, also Peyton Shiner. They're both sophomores, right? You guys are both sophomores. And this is Caitlin's second year making all-state. She made it as a freshman. And when you make it all 4 years in a row, they get some honorary titles, I guess, or some awards. So she's on her way for that. And as Quinn said, it is in Cheyenne this year. The audition process is I feel like it's grueling a little bit. It's a tough audition process. And so it's really an honor for these two from Green River High School to be able to go this year. And you may not know, but we are also the host site. Green River High School is the host site for auditioning. And so also we have Rock Springs that comes over, and Mr. Klinsky and I help proctor those auditions. And so, yeah, so it's a lot of work, and we're really proud of these two students. So. And I guess that's it, unless you have any questions for us.
Great job.
Thank you.
Great job. Okay. Now, recognition of the state thespian champions, Mr. Skinner.
Thanks so much for having me. Board of Trustees, Superintendent Behringer, we're excited to be here this evening to share with you the results from the Green River High School students. Recently, we got back last month, the start of the month, from the annual Wyoming State Thespian Festival. And we're here to recognize those students who received both honorable mentions and are all-state winners. I also really quick would like to thank, of course, Melissa Skinner, Julie Mortensen, Julia Eaton, and Catherine Skinner, all who volunteer their time, numerous hours in helping these students prepare for this event. The majority of the students that you see here with us today are also in the cast of our upcoming musical Hadestown. We look forward to seeing all of you there in the audience in March to come and join us. Well, first we'll begin with our honorable mention recipients, and we ask that if you will please just take a step forward and raise your hand as your names are read. And we have we'll give you the certificates when we meet back out in the lobby after this moment. All right, so our honorable mentions, these are students who received excellent ratings on their performances at the State Thespian Festival. For costume design, we have Autumn Montoya. For duet acting, Ashley Anderson and Grace Gomez. Also for duet acting, Rhiannon Schultz and Kira Molman. For group dance, Peyton Shiner, Caitlin Tanner, Madeline Thomas, Brecken Rasmussen, Bethany Holmes, Aria Lesage, and Taylor Kendall. For lighting design, JC Cornett. For makeup design, Jeremy Neer. In marketing, we had Ali Robidoux. For makeup application, we have Tori Smothers. And short film, Rhiannon Schultz. In solo musical, Rhiannon Schultz. Also in solo musical, Madeline Thomas. And in sound design, Ashlyn McCormick. We can give them all a round of applause.
Okay, and now for our all-state recipients who also qualified to compete in the International Thespian Festival this summer in Indiana. For the past 3 consecutive years, we have set records for the number of all-state awards we have brought home. Today, we did it again, but I don't have the total right here, but we did. 28, thanks. We will be back next month to further discuss what's going to take place for these students who got the all-state recipients and if they would like to continue on to attend our International Thespian Festival. But as I read your name, will you please step forward and we will present you with your medal. Again, and we have certificates as well that we'll give you afterwards. In costume design, both students, Alia, Meekum, and Jeremy Nieder both did all-state there. In duet acting, Bethany Holmes and Ryan Bodie, they did a scene together. In duet musical, Madeline Thomas and Caitlin Tanner sang a beautiful song together. For a group Nope. And so did Peyton Shiner and Jeremy Nieder. They did a duet musical. In a group acting scene, we did actually The Crucible with all women. And we had Taylor Kendall, Bethany Holmes, Collins Plasted, Isabella Grote, JC Cornett, Madeline Thomas, Olivia Taylor Bauer, Ryan Bodie, Zoe Pope, and Lily Logan. In marketing design, and you'll see a lot of this marketing design for Hadestown, was Ray Myers. For scenic design, I'm a little excited about this one because I worked really hard with her, Emily Russell. We worked really hard, didn't we? Solo acting, we had Kara Molman and Grace Gomez and Rhiannon Schultz, all solo acting. In solo musical, we had Taylor Kendall, Caitlin Tanner. In stage management, Autumn Montoya. In short film live action, Kara Molman. And in short film documentary, Braden Thompson, Peyton Shiner, Kira Molman, and Rhiannon Schultz. Those last 4 students will be attending the Casper International Film Festival at the end of this month, as their films were selected to be presented as well. And now I'm going to turn over the time to Grace Gomez.
We have one more recognition that we would like to present. We will begin with the rationale for this award. For the last 2 years, Mr. Skinner has served as the chapter director for the state of Wyoming. During that time, he was responsible for finding, applying for, and receiving over $22,000 in grant money for the Wyoming Thespians Fest chapter. This directly impacted funding the state thespian festival and supporting more students to attend the state event. We know that a year ago we presented to you the 3A state title, the first for Green River since the 80s. As the current theater arts advocacy chair for the state of Wyoming, Mr. Skinner has supported numerous schools in increasing their troops membership, troop recruiting, and schools with new educators to access professional development and theater-based learning opportunities. He has twice spoken at Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. to senators and congressmen on the importance of funding arts education. Seeing his love and support for the arts at his own school and those of directors all over the state shows his passion for theater and the love of his fellow directors. On behalf of the students here tonight, it is our honor to share with you that our director, Mr. Skinner, was recognized as the Theater Director of the Year for Wyoming. The second time he has received this award in 8 years since moving to Sweetwater No. 2. Mr. Skinner.
Do it. Bring them up. Bring them up. We'll get a picture with the board.
No, we're supposed to practice.
Yeah, we're gonna probably have some people up front so we can get everybody in the screenshot.
Kids. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, very nice.
Well, Mr. Behringer, give me a break.
Oh, yeah. We have Mackenzie Lucero at Truman Elementary. I'll be getting a hold of Mr. Figinser.
Nice. Okay. Moving on to the agenda, we need to have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay. So we'll have discussion about the agenda. We need to make a few amendments. So under the consent agenda items, we need to officially put on the agenda item 5.08 Teton Science Grant. 5.09 the after school program for BOCES. I thought there were 3 of them. Is there no? Just 2?
Just two.
Okay. So we have a motion to add those to the amended agenda.
To column 7-4.
I know.
Okay.
I'll motion to approve or add 5.08 and 5.09 to the agenda.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. We also need to add 3 items to personnel officially. 702 sick leave bank request, 703 retirement, and 704 an action item from executive session. Do we have a motion?
All motion to approve 702, 703, and 704.
Okay, we have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Mandy. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. And lastly, we need to make an amendment to 902. It's a wording amendment. It works from LMS to district camera replacement. That's how it will be worded. So do we have a motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve 9.02.
Okay, a second.
I'll second it.
Okay, second by Michelle. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Same sign. Okay, now we need to vote on the approved agenda as amended. We already had a motion, we had a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, agenda is approved. All right. On to the consent agenda items. We need a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
I'll motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Michelle. Any discussion? Okay. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Okay. All right. District goals and leadership. Just a reminder that the legislative forum and the reception on Sunday, February 2nd at Little America in Cheyenne. And I believe if you're interested in attending that, it's for board members. I don't know if anybody else is going, but contact you, Mary. Okay, so get in touch with Mary. It's very informative. So I encourage you to attend.
I think we have Tate and who else is
I
going?
am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I
we have
believe
Mandy going.
Ashley might be.
I think
also.
Oh, and
Ashley's
Ashley.
going.
So we have 3 people
Okay,
going.
oh, good, good. All right, on to personnel. 701, consider approval of early notification stipend. Miss Dr. Foos.
Thank you, Vice Chair Wilson, trustees, Superintendent Berengers. This is just a thank you for giving the district a head start on replacing key people that retire or resign in the district. It's getting tougher and tougher, and this is a thank you when someone meets the deadline. So thanks for your consideration.
Okay, we have a motion to approve $1,500 stipend to those notifying by February 28th, 2025.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second by Tate. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Okay. Mr. Foos, so the support sick leave bank request.
Thank you, Vice Chair Wilson, trustees. We had a support staff. You can see probably on the private side, it went to the committee. The committee approved 20 days for the support staff, and thanks for your consideration on approving that.
So we're approving 20 days.
yes, out of the support bank, we are in the 500s prior to the drawdown of the 20 days that you will potentially approve.
All right. We have a motion to approve the 20 days.
I move to approve the 20 days of sick bank leave.
Okay. Motion by Tommy, second by Mandy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay. Oh, we got you up for our third one. So,
Yep. Thanks, Vice Chair Wilson, trustees. Superintendent Behringer has tendered his well-earned retirement letter. Congratulations, 36 years, Greg.
39, but stop counting.
Congratulations on your retirement. For your consideration, Board of Trustees.
okay, we can deny this. So. All right.
I'll motion to approve the retirement by Mr. Behringer.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
Second by Michelle. Any discussion? Gonna miss you.
Yeah, very
Thanks. I'm
much
gonna
so.
I'm gonna miss
Done a great
this.
job.
Thank
Great
you.
job. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
All right.
Great. I'm just ready for the next item. Keep this
What?
thing flowing.
The next item, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready for us, Mary?
Uh,
Are we next?
No, we're not quite ready for you. We have an action item, 704.
Oh, sorry.
We need a motion
You good.
on that action item.
I'd like to motion to move for approval to have the WSBA aid in conducting a search for the new superintendent.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I think this will be a good process for us. I think WSBA is a good partner and will absolutely assist to ensure that we have the best process available.
I agree. I was hoping to avoid that process in my tenure, but I guess. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same signs. Motion carries. Now we're ready.
Oh, yeah,
Now it's you. Vice Chair Wilson, Board of Trustees, I was just jumping the gun because I'm excited for you to hear Justin. So we took part in a grant a year ago. We were one of 9 schools in the state of Wyoming that participated in the RIDE grant. It was through the governor's office. And so last year we kind of got our groundwork going. Our focus has been work-based learning, trying to get our students out into the workforce. Along the way, we've had 2 Revolutions work with us, and they were trying to help us with some deeper learning and goals that fit our district. Last spring, for you, the new board members, we went through the profile of a graduate, which is also done by the state of Wyoming and the State Board of Education. They came out with all these goals that around Wyoming, this is what the people of Wyoming thought was important to graduates. We had learn, work, and contribute and thrive. And what we did is we had 4 seniors lead us in this discussion over the course of a day. We had 4 90-minute sessions, one with a group of 40 students. I think Mr. Obrey and I were in there. I think it was about 40 students. Then we had one session with teachers. We had our staff members. We had about 40 to 50 in there. We had 2 community sessions scattered out. And so we had 2 different groups from the community that came in. And then we did an online survey. And through that, our community can you move that, Mary? Because I can't. There we go. This was the areas of focus that came out clear and above everything else. And there was really a big significance between what we heard in these and then the rest of what people thought. So in the learn area, they thought it was important that our graduate kids in our school learn how to critically think and problem solve. They need to have foundational skills. They need to communicate effectively. They need to have the opportunity for career exploration. They need to collaborate and have interpersonal skills. They need to develop some accountability. And I'm not going to read you the rest of that list, but
all of those things were what the people of Green River thought was important. It was interesting meeting with the seniors, or the, not seniors, but high school students. They really tuned into this too. So this year, we were hoping, we thought we'd be successful if we had 12 teachers or staff members from the high school and the middle school level participate in our deeper learning. And we ended up having 28. And so they shared their final projects, and there were some outstanding final projects. But one of them was Justin's. So I'd asked him immediately after he presented to the other staff members if he would come here and share with you kind of what he did. Everybody kind of did their own thing. One of the teachers said, I was a little nervous because we were not given a lot of guidance. And then I found out that whatever I did was going to be best for my students. And I think what Justin has to share is really good. So Justin.
All right.
Okay, there you go.
So thank you for having me. I brought some props, so promise not to take a long time, but these are some of the items from their projects. So when I signed up for this initiative, I had no idea really what I was getting into, but I understood the purpose was to find ways to get kids to learn skills and that they could use in this world that we're living in these days. And I've always been a hands-on learner. Like as a teacher, I taught a STEM class for multiple years of building rockets and paper airplanes. And I was always outside launching things and occasionally blowing things up, and maintenance would have to bring rockets back to me. But it was the most fun hands-on class I've ever taught. And I always thought this is what learning is, and this is what school should be. And over the last couple of years, Lincoln has made some changes to our classrooms, and we are working in cores now. And so I don't have the opportunity to teach that class anymore. And it's kind of been a bummer that it's been bothering me for a few years. And so when this opportunity came up, I thought I'm going to use this to start developing hands-on science education at the middle school, and just use what I learned from my STEM class and apply it to my classroom. And so I worked with a paraprofessional, Sydney Hosford. She hates public speaking, so she didn't come today. And she created the slides. That's not my doing by any means, but we created this project together. And I'm gonna see if I can get this. There you go. And at first we were really hesitant. There's not a lot of direction with the project, which is what I love. I love open-ended, explore and try things. But I know some teachers, especially Sydney, were like, well, what do we do? And we're like, well, let's design what we're going to do, and let's pick something that we're interested in, something that we could apply to our classrooms and use every day. And I know that was initially a frustration of some teachers, but I love that. That's kind of like my cup of tea. And so going into it, it was a pretty open-ended project. And so I decided that I wanted to take our traditional unit of thermal energy, where we watch some videos, we present some slides to the kids, and they take notes and fill in the blanks. And there's an occasional Bill Nye episode that goes with what we're learning, and then they take a paper and pencil test. And I want to take that and make it hands-on and something that's engaging and something that students are going to love and just be excited about. And so that's what we chose as our project. And it says we didn't throw out Bill Nye because Bill Nye's still good after all these years, but most of the projects we did during this thermal energy unit were all hands-on explorations. And so traditionally, let me see if I can get this. Traditionally, there's some notes, like I said, and the assessment's just multiple choice, fill in the blank stuff. And then there's a video. I don't know if it's going to play or not. Sometimes I kind of hope it doesn't, but this is the video that's supposed to engage the kids from our unit. And I'm telling you, 11-year-olds hear this and they're like, ugh, and they just check out. And so I said, I cannot do this. I just simply can't anymore. So you can please stop it. if you don't mind, sorry, thank you. So I just said we're not going to show this. We're going to bring in some demonstrations. So I set up this large tub of water with hot and cold water, and we filled it with different food colorings to show the differences in temperature, and just let them watch and observe what happened. And they're just blown away how water is moving constantly in this continuous convection current of energy without anything happen, without anyone touching it, without anyone blowing on it, without anyone bumping it. It's just continuously moving. And all of a sudden they're like, this is kind of cool. This is exciting. And I told them, yeah, like convection is where our oceans control the temperature of Earth, keeps us alive and living. Our mantle under the crust of our surface of our Earth is also a convection current. And they were just fully engaged in this process. And then I created some really hands-on labs where they had to explore and find out answers for themselves and conduct some investigations. And they just loved it. Like all of a sudden I had a class that was reluctant to learn and checked out to where they were excited to be there. They were beating me to the door some days. And and then we used technology, a lot of technology. And so we had some thermometers that I had purchased a few years ago with a grant, and they're just some digital thermometers where kids were constantly using them and exploring different temperatures of things and the amount of energy in different substances, and they were graphing it. Kids were using technology to create some digital graphs and learning how to set up coordinates and axes and different things. And they were really, yeah, go ahead. They were really excited about it. And all of a sudden I felt like I kind of stepped back and just let the kids learn. And I kind of had to stop teaching so much and just let them explore and be excited about what they're doing. And then finally, like instead of giving that paper and pencil test, we created a project where they had to create a thermal cup, like a Stanley cup, and they were given a piece of paper and a bunch of different materials that they could use. And they had to create an RFP to design their cup and request certain materials from me. And based on their design and their request, they received those materials. And they had a certain amount of time to build the cup and design it the way that they drew it up and labeled and all of that stuff. And so they built these cups out of bubble wrap and tin foil and tape and paper and styrofoam cups and plastic cups. And they applied all the things that they learned about thermal energy and convection to their final project. And we created a little competition to create a cup that would retain energy the longest. So the cup that stayed warmer longer wins. Like it's as simple as that. And so they had 30 minutes, they'd fill it with hot water, and they had 30 minutes to measure the temperatures. As the temperature decreased, they had to graph it, and they had to keep track of their results. And this cup actually was the one that won. It was the one that lasted the longest. And like just some other examples, I guess I could pass these down. And then there's some real abstract ones that are like outside the box thinkers, or B-type kids. And that would have been me. I don't know. Just a lot of different cool designs. And it was what they were interested in and what they wanted to do for their final project. And then at the end of it, they had to record their results on a Google slide presentation and basically do a Shark Tank presentation where they had to present their cup to the class and tell the class why they should buy their cup. And it was based on their results of their experiments, and it was based on their design and their cost and things like that. It's just so much fun. And all of a sudden I felt like this is what like learning is again, and we're applying it to different projects as we've continued with different units. But basically what I learned through it is that students were engaged, like they like to learn if it's something that they can do and build and be hands-on with. And even my most reluctant learners, kids that just show up in class and hope to make it through the period, were fully engaged. And it might not have been to the extent that even I would have want them to, but it was way more than they ever were in class. And they're even my high functioning kids. We always have those high kids that are just super hard to engage. They're asking cool questions. They're trying new things. They're talking about it in the hallway. They're asking you before and after school about things. And it's just fun. And then that was the other thing that I learned is that I was engaged as a teacher. And I just felt like it was easy to teach. And I feel like I'm actually teaching something that one day they could apply to their lives. And that's just super exciting for me. And then a few failures I did find is that sometimes we ran out of equipment and sometimes our technology failed. And most of thermal energy projects require water and a sink. And I don't have one. So you're trusting 11-year-olds to carry a tank full of water down to the drinking fountain and just pray that they don't dump the colored water on the floor. And a few times they did, but those were a few of our failures. And then just time constraints. I would like to spend more time doing some of these things, but you're just limited to what you have. And then what we want to do next, and I already kind of alluded to this, we shared what Sydney and I did in my classroom with my PLC, the 3 other science teachers I work with. And we kind of jumped out in front and tried it. And they're like, well, we want to try it too. And they did. And some of them aren't as comfortable teaching science as I am, but they were excited to like fumble through it. And they learned things throughout the process. And they have a new way of thinking about science. And then we want to just continue with this future units. I know we just learned about oceans, atmosphere, and climate, which is really not the most exciting thing for 11 and 12-year-olds. But we created these big maps that they made out of their own paper that they tore as the continents. And they mapped out certain ocean currents on their own map. And they've been adding every day they come into class and they add different earthquake spots onto their map. So it starts mapping out the different plate tectonics on their map just naturally. And it's hands-on and it's something that they enjoy and they like it. And they're learning a lot through it. And I think the next step, and this is, I think, what the profile of the graduate kind of led me to believe is like we need to find ways to engage our community in this a little bit because we have so many companies in this community that are solely centered around science and the different sciences. And there's projects that we can include in these companies in with and help bring them into class or bring our kids to them so that they can start learning what it's like as a career. Does that make sense? And so that's something that I found. That was the final thing that I got from this project. And then lastly, I know that our STEM program at Lincoln, it's just really hard with our cores and the way that our schedule is set up. But I've talked to administrators and I would like to find ways to revamp our STEM program and kick that up a notch, and whether that's within our science classrooms or an elective class or whatever. I want to rebuild that STEM program because I see the power of kids and the way they learn when they're actually building and exploring and doing things with their hands. And I think most of us remember school and we think that was the stuff we loved and that was the things we really remember for a long time. So the last thing I want to just show you a montage of my students' work and just some pictures. And if you walked into my class and you saw this, you might think a little bit of this is chaos. There's kids on the floor, there's kids on the tables. But if you look, they're all just engaged and excited about the projects that they're working on. And looking through these pictures, this is just one class. About 6 or 7 of them are just really difficult, reluctant learners. And you couldn't notice which ones were which because they're all fully engaged. And I just love that. Super exciting. So, all right. I think that's all I had. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time.
Justin, anybody have questions for Justin? Or?
I
Nice
just
job.
want,
Very
I just
nice.
wanted to say, I think that your excitement is contagious and that's why your kids were engaged.
I
I'm
appreciate
excited
that,
about it,
yeah.
just hearing about it.
Yeah, well, it really is fun. I mean, I just love what we're doing and building things and making stuff and exploring. So
Oh, good job.
Nice job. Yep, nice job. Okay, on to bid request items. We'll consider the approval to go out for an RFP for food, non-food and commodities. Lee?
Vice Chair Wilson, Superintendent Behringer, Board of Trustees. Nutrition Services would like permission to go out for an RFP with the Western Wyoming Food Co-op for commodities, food, non-food items for the school year 25-26.
Okay. We have a motion to go out for RFP.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion by Danny, the second.
Second.
Second, is that Tommy?
Yes.
Okay. So, paying closer attention now, yeah. So. Any discussion?
I meant to ask this before, but what is RFP? Should I know that?
Request, it's a request for proposal.
Say it again.
Request for proposal.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay. No discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thanks.
Thank you. Consider approval, go out to bid for district camera replacement. Mr. Hamel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Board. So these three requests actually kind of got skipped over in the last board meeting. So anyways, here to present you today is here they are. They are what they are, and we were asking for permission to go to bid for replacement of all inside cameras in the district.
So,
These are the district cameras in the buildings.
Yep.
so this what'll happen, this went through the facilities committee.
Yep, out of
And
the
then-
facilities
then
committee.
Once we get those bids in, we'll come back as the facilities committee and
Try to
discuss
present them
those.
to you in February,
Yep, and make a
the
recommendation.
results.
Okay. Need a motion to approve going out to bid replacement for all district cameras not to exceed $250,000. Is that right?
Yes.
We have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Tate,
I'll second.
second by Mandy. Discussion?
I'd like to have a discussion with all three of these bids. All three of these bids are very not detailed at all. I don't think it's fair to the public to not have very detailed bid requests. They don't know how many cameras we're replacing, what buildings are going in. You look
So-
at the pad. Like, I have the memos up here, but the public doesn't see those.
So these aren't the bid specs. These are only permission for the board to go out to bid. The specs are in finance office right now.
But it still needs to be very transparent to the public. This is their money.
Yeah. I think that's what we've done.
I still.
This is just a request to go out.
This is just a
for-
request
it's
for the
just a
board to go to
request.
bid.
Up to bid, yeah.
Yep.
So some of this may be dependent upon how much, what the price of cameras come in. So it's hard to say we need 10 cameras and then we can only afford 7.
So there is a number
But there,
associated with those specs in Katie's office.
But I'm just saying it needs to be more public. Is what I'm just getting at the point of, we have these, I see these memos right here. Nobody else sees these. Right.
Right.
now. All it says is go out for camera replacement. That's it. What type of cameras? I know it depends
want
on the
the
bid. I
specs?
know the bid specs. But then it says GRHS main level backdoor pad replacement. Okay, in the memo, you corrected that. Now it's telling me exactly where that pad is.
So, but it is in the specs that we put out to the public.
But I think when you go out for RFP, it needs to come out now. And then when we see the bid request, we understand it better.
that was probably a mistake how that got in there, but that's also something, when you see that, give me a call. We can make that correction then.
I
Yeah.
don't think we've done that in the past, like when we go
No.
out for computers or we go out to replace the laptops, we don't necessarily spell it all out.
Vice Chair Wilson, do we have a well-defined scope here for this RFP?
Pardon me?
You're saying we do have a well-defined scope?
We have a well-defined scope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good discussion. So all those in favor of going out to bid for the replacement not to exceed $250,000. We have a motion, right? And we have a second. All
Yeah,
those
we
in
do.
favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Same
Aye.
sign?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. On to the next one. So consider approval to go out to bid for Lincoln Middle School boiler burner replacement.
Yep, this is the same replacement we did at the high school a couple years ago. Very good burner, very efficient.
Okay, not to exceed 80,000. Okay. Do we have a motion to approve going out for bid not to exceed 80,000?
I move to approve.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, second by Michelle. Discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. 904, consider going out to bid for GRHS backdoor and pad. So is this the back door itself, or is this the?
So it's a set of 3 doors behind the principal's office and a pad that starts at pool level and goes up to those doors.
Okay, so there'd be the doors and the concrete.
It is.
Okay. Okay, do we have a motion to approve going out to replace a door replacement for 65,000, not to exceed?
A motion to approve.
Motion by Mandy, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Tate. Any further discussion?
Is this that patio area off the
Comments? No.
comments? No?
No, it is just it's a 20 by 20 pad at the top of the stairs, starting at the pool level, going up to the back door.
All right.
Okay. All right,
Vice Chair Wilson. So this pad is a concrete pad up top.
It
and
is.
has the graded metal staircase going down. Is that correct?
So it does. Yes.
Okay. And the replacement would be that entire structure,
Not the stairs, only the pad.
only the pad.
Only the pad and the doors.
all right. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hamel. On to other business. Consider approval of the update of the per diem rates on meals. Katie?
All right, good evening, please, and Superintendent Behringer. In 2022, our overnight per diem rates started following the federal per diem rates. In October of 2024, they increased the rates by 10%. And so we are asking to increase our hourly per diem rates by 10%. And you can see the change in the charts on the memo.
This is in line with the federal per diem?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We have a motion to approve.
I move to approve these per diem rates.
Okay.
Second.
Second by Nanny. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. And Dr. Foos, a revision to KBDA.
Thanks, Vice Chair Wilson, trustees, Superintendent Behringer. Very simple addition, the existing policy, and it's right there on E, the addition of a parent survey. And again, this is driven by what's happening at the federal level, that we need to now offer some surveys for our school-wide buildings, which is Washington and Truman. So you can see that now in the policy. So we're looking to just do a one reading only and insert that approved by Super 8. So thanks for your consideration.
And it'd be one reading only.
Correct.
Okay. We have a motion to approve.
I'll approve policy KBDA for the amendment.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that wraps us up, huh? Yeah. All right. So we're on to board comments. So maybe let's start with Tate.
Thanks everybody for being here. Craig, congratulations on your announcement.
Thanks.
Let's make it the best 6 months that you've had in your tenure. I hope everybody had safe holidays and halfway through the school year. Let's get through this.
I also want to congratulate you on your retirement. Best decision I ever made. So I hope it's good for you too. And I am looking forward to the next 6 months though, so we can learn. I want to learn everything I can from you before you go.
Right. Tommy?
Yeah, I think we got some activities coming up. Wrestling tournament, Doman tournament. It was good to see the cheer and dance teams perform their practice routines. So good luck to them coming up in their state competitions. I think the cheer team is headed to nationals as well, so that's exciting. Superintendent Behringer, sorry to see you headed out, but we'll make sure you're busy the next 6 months. Thanks, everyone.
Addie?
Again, congratulations to the choir and band and thespian groups. It's great to see all the different groups in the school district do great things. Justin, awesome. I know as a learner too, I was very hands-on, so I always kind of connected that way. So, and like Michelle said, your enthusiasm, that's what the kids feed off of. So great job. Good luck to the wrestlers this weekend. I'm sure it's going to be a busy weekend, so hope everyone stays safe and thanks for coming.
Denny?
Same thing. Have fun with the Tillman tournament. It's always a mess, but it always gets done. It's a lot of work. And yeah, the cheerleaders did a great job. Other than that, that's all I got.
Okay, Mr. Behringer?
So Justin did a great, thank you, Justin. He did a great presentation. Was one of several at the Lincoln Middle School. Then the next day we went up to the high school. And one of the presentations Bridget Nielsen did. And then she and her class wrote a proclamation for the first female governor in the state of Wyoming. And the governor came out and recognized her. They've done that proclamation. She has since been contacted by Senator Loomis's office about a national presentation. And so she does great work, but a lot of that was through that RIDE grant that she did. So congratulations to her and her class. And we're off and running for the second semester.
Yeah, we are, 2025. I think legislative session started today, I believe, so worthy of keeping eyes on that stuff. Tony, you'll be able to sleep on Sunday morning. Get everything done, but 18 teams, yeah. So, yeah, that'll be a good one. I too, hats off, Craig, you've been amazing. Model of what a superintendent should be, and appreciate you.
Thanks.
So, gonna miss you. Hats off to a federal jury somewhere back east this week. I'll leave that as it is. But I do want to stand out to Steve Lake at Harrison Elementary. If you get a chance to get over there, check out, it's called Check In, Check Out. It's a behavior program. Absolutely amazing. Got to see it in action this week, and I don't know if our other elementaries are doing the same, but it's very powerful. So with that, I apologize for this was my first meeting, so
I thought you did great.
anyway, and I just found out like yesterday that I was doing this. So anyway, but Ashley is taking care of what she should be taking care of, and she'll be back next month. So